Welcome back, agents, to another Division 2 build breakdown. This one's pretty simple, pretty similar to a build video we've done before, so we're going to get straight into it. This video, we're actually focusing on the new Purist SMG, specifically for this talent Perfect Streamline. This increases our weapon damage by 47% when no skills are on cooldown. So the skill needs to either just be there available to use, or you're actively using it. It cannot be on the cooldown itself. So I felt like that's made things a lot easier for me. I can just rock the shield. The shield usually has a cooldown of just like 1 second, so long as it's not broken. And I could just ignore my other skill. I was going to say ability. My other skill, I only really use it if I desperately need to. But we'll get straight into it. As we can see, it's an SMG. So with that, I decided to run Hunter's Fury. With Hunter's Fury, we get our 15% SMG damage. We get our 20% armor on kill, our 50% health on kill. And of course, we get Apex Predator. Enemies within 15 meters of us will receive a debuff. That debuff amplifies our weapon damage by 20% to that target, which is pretty awesome. Once we kill that debuffed enemy, it'll disorient anyone within 5 meters from them, and then that amplifies weapon damage by 5% for 10 seconds, stacking up to 10 times. A lot of damage stacking, a lot going on. I'm sure if you've played the game, you get it. If not, I can one day go through a video of doing a more detailed breakdown of a Hunter's Fury, but I feel like it's fairly simple. Now, to go with this and kind of make things work a lot better, we have the Memento. Now, the Memento gives us a whole lot of bonuses. It gives us increased weapon damage, it gives us bonus armor, it gives us skill efficiency. Now, these additional bonuses are given to us both short term and long term, meaning for every core that we have, we get a bonus, and we also get bonuses when we're in the middle of the fight collecting our little tokens that fall on the floor, or whatever you want to call them, our mementos, I guess you could say. It's just all around arguably one of the best exotics in the game. But I do understand a lot of people may not have this backpack. So if you don't have this backpack, I'd probably recommend running something like a Grupo or even a Walker Harris. The Grupo mostly because it'll give you the critical hit damage, and with the Walker Harris you get weapon damage. You wouldn't really need a Cheska. You'll see why, because we're running Cheska on the chest piece. But yeah, if you don't have a Memento, I would definitely recommend a Grupo or a Walker Harris, maybe putting Bloodsucker on there, because we're gonna get some cool benefits from the chest piece if you run it. On the chest piece, we are rocking the Cheska chest piece. We got double crit on there with a crit damage mod, and with this, we are running the talent Intimidate. So while we have bonus armor, we gain a stack every second up to 9, and each stack increases our weapon damage by 4% to enemies within 10 meters. So with Hunter's Fury, we're of course going to be in the enemy's face, especially if we want the debuffs and we want all the bonuses from Hunter's Fury. And with Intimidate, we're getting even more bonuses on our weapon damage on top of that. Obviously, you need to have bonus armor to keep this talent going. So if you don't want to run Bloodsucker, you're probably not going to run Intimidate. And then if that's the case, I would just run something like Obliterate on the chest piece, where it's just increased weapon damage. But this is all obviously if you don't have the Memento. If you have the Memento, I would rock it just like this, because with the Memento you get your bonus armor and the weapon damage, which just in itself trumps the Bloodsucker talent altogether. You do get a lot of bonus armor to the Bloodsucker talent, but with this you also are getting skill efficiency and weapon damage on top of your bonus armor. So now, because we have to make sure, like I said earlier, we have to make sure no skills are on cooldown, so I'm only really running the shield. And with the shield, I have a few mods on there. I have shield health. So now, of course, because we shouldn't be using any skills, we shouldn't really have them on cooldown, I'm using the Crusader shield. And with the Crusader shield, I have some additional shield health on there. I have a 1% damage bonus, and then another 5% damage bonus, which is pretty cool. So it gives us a total of 6% damage bonus per enemy. So it just helps us stack up the damage to our enemies all around. Now I do have the defender drone for like when I'm in the thick of it. I really desperately gotta use my other skill. I'll use it. I'll of course still have some amplified weapon damage, but once it's on cooldown, I kind of lose that, and that's where things can get a bit difficult. So I'll definitely recommend not running skills that take too long on cooldown, because you really see that difference of damage you put out when you don't have this talent active. Now for the secondary, I am rocking the rock and roll. Rock and roll has a 50% magazine capacity. I use it because we are in people's faces, and we get the increased shotgun damage as well on Hunter's Fury. I'm not really taking the weapon out like that unless I really need to, and of course the sidearm never gets taken out. It just sits there, so I wouldn't worry about the sidearm too much. Now I am running the gunner just to get that armor on kill. It's really the main reason why I run it. It's the best passive to me of all of these specialization ones, especially when you're playing alone. The armor on kill just comes in clutch, especially if you're like me and you do like to run some blue cores. As you can see, I have 3 on here with the memento, so it definitely helps out a ton. But that's just pretty much it. It's really simple. It's very traditional Hunter's Fury, just with this weapon and maybe a talent or 2 getting switched. But that's about it. I'll get to my stats here. As you can see, I'm sitting at 59% crit chance, 149% crit damage. So if you're not running the world modifier, this falls perfectly for your stats. And I can show you here what I'm using mod-wise. I do have a crit damage here, crit chance on there. I have an increased magazine here, and some more crit damage. The mask sits on double crit damage. The chest piece, double crit with a crit damage mod. Crit damage on the holster. Crit damage on the knee pads. And crit chance on the gloves. Of course, I have a crit damage mod on the memento. Memento gives me all 3 cores. And ideally, if you're going to switch out the memento, like I said, you're probably going to want to at least have crit damage on the attribute, at least for one, because we're already sitting at the cap of 60%, unless you have, like I said, you have the world modifier on. But that is about it. Short, simple. I don't think there's anything complex about it. It's just really trying to get the most out of this weapon, and especially if you're just trying to make it proficient. I know a lot of people maybe don't have the resources to boost the proficiency, and maybe if you're like me, you'd prefer to use the item rather than just donate stuff to get it proficient. I think it's a lot quicker and a lot easier. What are the chances that you're gonna bump into so many of this weapon that you can just completely donate and make it maxed? I feel like it's a lot of grinding to do. You might as well just be using the gun with all that grinding. But that's gonna do it. I hope you guys enjoy. Let me know what you guys are using for any of your talents that have Streamline in it. It's a very interesting talent because skills are so important in the game. So let me know what you guys are using. Are you using Hunter's Fury? Are you ignoring this weapon and the talent completely? Comment down below. Subscribe if you guys like the video. I'm going to throw in some gameplay for you all, and I'll see you on the next one.
team from the campus has taken position inside the memorial.